If you aren't getting something that you want and you haven't asked for it, you're not going to get it. Wait, I'm going to say that again. If you aren't getting something you want and you haven't asked for it, you're not going to get it. We all know that. Yet how often do we not speak up? And this is especially true when it comes to conversations around title and money. I think the key to unlocking our voices is in understanding three things: motivation, worth, and the power of not flinching. So I'll tell you the story. The first time I ever really took a stand for myself in the arena of salary, I was in my mid-20s, and I was offered a promotion to director. And along with that directorship came a $10,000 raise. And I was like, yes, I'll take it, I'm in. I was totally excited about the job, the challenge, the vote of confidence from a senior leadership team who thought I could do it. Done. The money, icing on the cake, didn't even care. Well, that pure elation was very short-lived when I became aware that the former director made more than double what I did. So just level set. I made 60, the promotion would put me at 70, and the former director was in the 160s. In this moment, a new motivation is coming. I'm starting to get fired up by a new motivation, which is I'm going to stand up for myself. And when I say fired up, I mean like Braveheart, William Wallace, blue face paint, kilt, freedom! Like, mine was exploitation. So the scene that came next was actually quite different. Although I love that movie in my head. I am alone in my car in a dark, empty parking lot, on the phone with my father, and I'm close to tears. I'm practicing trying to ask for the salary to be reconsidered because I didn't think it was right. And I can't say the words. I can't even utter the request in practice to my father. I remember those moments. Here is where I gained some insight on worth. Now, worth has a lot of dimensions, but I'll just talk about one. In that conversation with my father, I realized that I habitually based my sense of self-worth on other people's judgments and opinions about what I produced. Self-worth, for me, was getting confused with what I did, not who I was. That was a huge unlock for me. I was frustrated, I was full of emotion, and I was unable to articulate a simple request. And what I realized was all of that emotion was coming from fear. Fear that when I went in and said, hey, I think I'm worth more, that they would laugh, they would reject me, and they would tell me all the reasons that I wasn't. My dad, as he has many, many times, helped me get it in perspective when he said, sweetheart, $70,000 is what they want to pay to get the work done. It has absolutely nothing to do with your value as a person. Thank you, Dad. So I've learned that motivation and worth can come together to be incredibly powerful in either the fuel or the incredible barrier to a powerful ask. So the last scene is in the meeting with my brand manager, and I have my first real opportunity to practice the power of not flinching. I did forego the William Wallace face paint. However, I did wear a plaid skirt. And I go into the meeting with my soon-to-be new boss, and with respect, I say, I'm really grateful to be considered for this role, but I politely decline unless we're able to reconsider the salary. Of course, he's like, to what? I believe the job is worth $120,000. As I said, $120,000, he looked at me. There was awkward silence, and then he laughed, just like I thought he was going to do. And as he laughed, I straightened my skirt, and I looked him right in the eye, and I didn't flinch. The conversation continued, and by the time I left the office, the last action item was for him to go back and see what could be done. The reason I was able to do that, to look him in the eye and not flinch, was because I was absolutely clear on my motivation, and I was absolutely sure of my self-worth. Now, the story doesn't end with me doubling my salary. And that's okay. My goal, my mission, wasn't the money. My goal was to stand up for myself. I ended up taking the directorship, and I got a $30,000 raise instead of 10, and that was great for me. And I took an amazing first step into opportunities in my career that was a launching pad from that moment. So over the last 25 years, I've had lots of opportunities to stand up for myself in this area specifically and in others. And I've coached and helped others get clear on them for themselves as well. But those are different stories for a different time. So what I'll leave you with is this. When you have the next opportunity to speak up for yourselves, you will be able to do that because you are clear on your motivation. You're absolutely certain of your self-worth. And in that moment of awkward silence, you won't flinch. Thank you very much.